Grand Rising, everybody, Grand Rising. On this beautiful Sunday, man, as I sit here and you can see right here in the window, it's raining. Sit here at this lake. Today's message, man, is about this new world, right? And how in this new world, how many challenges we will face, we have faced, we are facing every day. Even something as simple, y'all, as communication between two people is distorted in this new world. It's not the same. And I'm like, man, there is no going back from this, because even if there was this internet outage, a power outage, and we had to go back to communicating in the ways before the internet and social media, it's most likely never going to be the same. And I do my best, y'all, to have an open mind and to be as optimistic as possible. I'm almost like, man, like, you can't even communicate. Like, and I've heard this my whole life, that communication is the key. Communication is the key. But what if you're communicating with a person that has never been great at comprehending or receiving communication, right? They've never been great at receiving the way you communicate. Your love language, if you speak, or if we will, your love language, if you will. I'm sitting here, man, and it's like the Most High always called me to the water, man. I'm sitting here at this lake, and I'm like, I just got to get out today. This new world, man, is unlike anything that we've ever experienced. And obviously life is moving forward, but I'm just like, man, like the metaverse is coming. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in the cryptocurrency. So when I get that looking at the metaverse, but then I'm just like, man, we already distorted. We are living in a simulation, y'all, in a matrix, in a simulation where children cannot be without their phone. They totally lose their minds. Can you, let me say this. I'm so grateful, y'all, that I'm not a child growing up in this new world, that I got to see the old world, the old ways, the old school ways of life, where my grandmother who raised me, and she wasn't, no, yeah, she did have discs, right? Vinyls. I'm trying to think of what it is. She did have vinyls. But then one of the first things I remember before cassette tapes was the 8-tracks. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't know about 8-tracks. And then it went to cassette tapes and then CDs. And now we're in this digital age to where all of the music is on streams. Everything is in your phone. Every song you could ever think about is in your phone. There's no need for vinyls. There's no need for, CDs. There's no need for a LimeWire or Napster. For those who follow me, make sure y'all like this video. This new world, y'all, where people consider war being the answer. You know what I'm saying? And peace is not the answer. And talking to people and communicating is not the answer. It's just, let me go blow something up, because they're not listening. I listen to the great T.D. Jakes, and however you feel about him is how you feel about him. For me, it's more about the message and less about the messenger. But I talked about don't drop the mic. And I look back in history as he was speaking. It's like he's a great orator, right? I can't even say the word. But he knows how to effectively be able to paint a picture while he's speaking, and you can visually see it, because I'm a visual learner. So it's like when he speaks, he got to speaking about the great Martin Luther King and every person that preceded him. Every person that preceded him, he got to speaking about him and don't put the mic down. You know what I mean? Or don't drop the mic, right? I think it's don't drop the mic. And he wrote a book, and I watched a lot of his videos because, you know, they'll do a lot of motivational videos leading up to the, you know, the releasing of the book or whatever product they got. So I watched a lot of them thinking that it was just a motivation when really he was leading up to the releasing of the book. People think that war is the answer. In this new world is what we're talking about. People think that, you know, this new way of communicating, I want to argue on a text message, right? I'm mad. But it's not effective. People think that going to do some subliminal posts on social media is the answer. And it's not effective. The only thing that it does, and it can do, is allow you to be heard, but it never solves the issue at hand. I woke up today, and one of my first thoughts was, greatness. One of my first thoughts this morning was, I know that I was sent to this realm, this physical form, to do something amazing, something beyond the norm. I was like, I remember like one of the first things I quoted in my mind, and I'm not even a huge Eminem listener. Back old Eminem, you know what I'm saying? When I'm fresh out of high school, you know, anywhere from 2000 to 2004 Eminem, you know, all the way up to where he dropped the song about Bush. Doom, doo doom, doom, doo doom, doo doom, doo doom. That's the Eminem I respect, right? But one of the first things on my mind this morning was a normal life is boring. That Eminem bar, a normal life is boring. And I was just like, this can't be what I was sent here for. I know that what I'm doing right now, was a part of the reason why I was sent here to this realm, in this matrix, living in this physical form. But today, I want you to just really look at life from this moment forward. After you receive this message, digest this message, put it in your soul and say, this new world. And that don't mean, you know what I mean? I remember hearing the great Gary Vee say it's clouds and dirt. That don't mean that the new world is all bad. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, let us be aware of the things that it is doing in the negative. Let's be aware of the negatives. Let's be aware of how it is distorting us. And it's not making us better. It is not improving us. One of my greatest wishes during this time that I have in the physical form is to be able to have meetups where people, and shout out to the homie Hype B, man. Great brother, peace and love forever, you feel me? Then the brother has some spats, and life happens, you know what I'm saying? He got his own things going on. I got my own things going on. He just had a son. So congratulations to that. During 2022, he had his son this year. And I didn't even know. I heard it through another one of our great brothers. But Creative Minds was an idea that Hype came up with. And this would just be a collective of creatives or great-minded people, whether it's like a Tupac or Eminem, or it's an Elon Musk or a Kanye. That Creative Minds would be a setting where people could come in the physical. And this just came, like, honestly, I've thought about this in the past, but I'm like, I never really talked about this. And I'm like, man, let me get this out. One of my greatest wishes during this time, or even when I'm gone, is that get a phone call. And I'm going to get off of here. Is that we could have, in the physical, some of the greatest minds on the planet get together and And for one, love each other. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I want to say share ideas and things of that nature, but let's just get back to having some balance. I don't want to just use the word normal, but having some balance in this new world, because there's so much distortion on the planet that people would much rather, like, there was something that's happened this weekend. It's hard to keep up with everything because there's so many things going on across the planet. The news want to blow up everything, and YouTube is news now, and it's blowing up this and blowing up that and blowing, ideas. But there was in the Middle East, I believe in Iraq, somewhere over there, Iran or something. They killed this woman, this Middle Eastern woman, and a revolution broke out, and they started burning buildings and blowing up stuff or whatever. Why would we much rather destroy than build? This new world, we got to continue to build. Let's have some balance. Let's be able to embrace this new world, because there's no going backward. There's no changing it. You know what I'm saying? People can talk all day about me, y'all. Listen, I'm from Michigan. For 32 years, I lived in Michigan. For over 32 years. Yeah, for over 32 years, I lived in Michigan. I had to go back. But for 3 years of that time, I lived in Colorado, and I got to understand nature and what the Bible described as the wilderness, and Moses going up to the mountaintop and the burning bush, and these analogies or these pictures that was painted, these things that was given to us to be able to help us guide through this